So you're either gonna really enjoy this video or you're gonna fight me in the comments because some politician has told you that they're going to work harder in 8 years, i.e. re-elect them for another term, to make their city, state, country a better place for you to raise your children. And spoiler alert, America is unsustainable to raise children. Motherhood in America is unsustainable. Now, I'm speaking specifically for the Black mothers. And as a Black mother who raised her children in America for almost 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, I have a position because I did it, or at least I tried to do it, and yeah, it's not working for me. So in this video, I'm gonna outline the ways in which I believe that Black motherhood is not sustainable in America. Hi, I'm Ashley, and on my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk all things doing business, moving, and living on the continent of Africa. If that sounds interesting to you, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to receive updates on when I post new content. If you find this information valuable, please be sure to like and leave me a comment and let me know how you feel about this topic specifically. And if you're a Black mother or you love and know a Black mother, share this information with her. I'm confident she'll find value in it. You know, after spending a year on the continent and then going back to visit family and friends, we ended up staying in the US a lot longer than we anticipated. I anticipated, any of us anticipated. And I began to see the reasons why I was so firm in raising my children outside of the US. The reason why I was so firm in making such a drastic move and decision to relocate and rebuild our lives in Tanzania specifically, and South Africa. We're in between the countries as I'm building my business, but I'll share another video on that and link it here or in the description box below. But the number one reason why I made the decision then, and I continuously make the decision today, is because it is just not safe for Black children in America. Gun violence, mass shootings are at an all-time high. We've barely gotten through 100 days in this 2022, and there have been well over 100 mass shootings in America. A mass shooting means that 4 or more people have been shot. It doesn't mean that they died. It means that they were shot or punctured with a bullet. Now, this is not counting the amount of shootouts that happen on a regular basis and people don't get shot. This is specific to 4 or more people being shot. And over 100 of these have occurred to date in America. And every month, they're going up. And in this so-called Black Mecca of Atlanta, Georgia, the state that it is situated in Georgia, is about to pass a law that will allow people to own, carry, and openly carry a gun without a license or background check to do so. Somehow people believe that this is going to decrease crime. It's going to increase revenue for the gun makers. And yeah, no, it's not working for me. Mass shootings are going up. I don't see how being a loving, concerned, compassionate parent includes me sending my children to school every day to experience a potential mass shooting, or alternatively, monthly active shooter drills where they practice what it will look like if an active shooter enters their school. Schools all over the country do these on a monthly basis at minimum, from age 5, kindergarten, all the way up to age 12. And I believe even in some universities. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not working for me. Kidnapping is also a consistent thing. I don't know if it's on the rise or not because the statistics are rarely shared for Black children. But I know when I'm scrolling through my stories that at least once a week, someone is sharing a picture of a young Black girl or boy that has gone missing. It's not working for me. As a person who lost her sister to child trafficking, sex trafficking, she was not a survivor. And it happened. She lost her life in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. And even after that, I still decided to reside there for some reason, thinking that it was safe for me. Until I myself had a daughter and I realized, no, this is not life. How can one be a strong, loving, discerning, protective, nurturing mother knowing that these things are actively happening and no legislation or policy is being put in place to stop them or even slow them down? Safety is the number one reason why, as a Black mother, it is advantageous. It will behoove you to explore life outside of the US, specifically on the continent of Africa. Culture is the number 2 reason why motherhood is not sustainable in the US. What culture is there that exists in America that fosters love, spiritual awareness, and community? I'll wait. All of these things are necessary to foster and build and sustain a nation. Without fostering and exuding love, not just for a segment of people that have a specific position of power. No, for all. What about spiritual awareness? In one sentence, we want to talk about being a religious society, but when it benefits corporations, we want to lean in and trust something outside of that. What about community? After experiencing the global health experience that we all did, something so specific to the US was isolation. Stay away from this group of people. Don't go around this group of people. Don't allow this group of people in your home if they haven't done this. This is not what culture looks like in Africa. In Africa, family, community, unity, Ubuntu, that is what has fostered and developed these underdeveloped nations to become powerhouses in what will be the most economically strong economy going into the 22nd century. Where is that in Western culture, specifically in America? I'll wait. The number 3 reason why motherhood, Black motherhood, is simply not sustainable in America is the family dynamic. The dynamic of family, specifically Black family, is more of a statement than it is a realistic lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying that there are not successful young Black families. Oftentimes what we see through social media are families, young families that are really trying to make it work. and that are resilient and persevering in a society that doesn't foster what they are trying to accomplish. And so for the families that are doing it, I salute you. And I also recognize that you are enduring serious scrutiny and challenges to do so. But nothing that is worth anything comes without hardship. And so I honor that. However, I'd be remiss to not recognize the disparities that exist when we speak about Black mothers in America. Is the statistic 50%, 60%, 80%? I don't know. I've seen many of them, and oftentimes I don't like to repeat statistics that are negative, but society has shown us what Black motherhood has looked like in what is perpetuated in Black culture. And it's simply not sustainable. There are also Black mothers that are married that are doing it all. I've heard some statement called married single mothers. Ridiculous. It's just not okay. And motherhood was not meant to be done alone. Many of us do it. Many of us were raised by mothers who did it. But the more I do it, the more I recognize where I am unable to provide what I just don't have the capacity to provide, because nature didn't intend for me to do this. Africa operates in a system of community, unity, Ubuntu, a collective cohesion of development that ensures that all rise accordingly. Children being loved and supported by people who don't know them just because they are children, just because they reflect the promise of the future. They reflect future leadership. They reflect who will be there to lead us into our old age. And, you know, the family dynamic, specifically in the Black community, has been on the decline. We've seen it. It is systemic in many ways. And although it doesn't look how it used to look, it's still happening. It's still happening. And if you are passionate about building a healthy family dynamic, and you've ever thought to do it elsewhere, I encourage you to take action and do so. And if that sounds like you, please be sure to leave me a comment below. Leave me a family emoji in the comment. Whether you are in a family, you are single and desire to be a part of a family, or have a family of your own, your feelings are valued. Your feelings are valid, and honor them. The fourth reason why Black motherhood in America is unsustainable is the schools, childcare, private schooling out of control. It is so expensive. Public schools are deteriorating. Like, who wants to do that? I went to school. I'm a proud graduate of public school system, but today I could never send my child to a public school in the US. Not only because of the violence that happens, but the way in which teachers are overworked and underpaid, the way in which parents of other children lack discipline and discernment to be able to provide the best for their children. So when their children come to school with my child, they're being bombarded with all sorts of craziness that is inappropriate for a child of my age, or my children's age. You know, it's also so unaffordable. In the past year, childcare has increased in costs over 25 to 50%. And I get it, childcare providers need to be compensated. They do great work, they're valuable. But what happens when you can't afford to pay? And then even if you can afford to pay, your child is in a community with other children whose parents may or may not be present in their lives. So even if you are paying astronomical prices and rates for their education, they're being influenced by outside social influences because one or more of your child's colleagues has an absent parent or two absent parents and are being raised by television, video games, apps, and alike. So the last reason why Black families, specifically Black motherhood in America, is unsustainable is something that I experienced myself. And it's something that I haven't spoke about publicly, but it's something that I had an opportunity to experience, and it was a devastating process for me. And I can only imagine how it is for other mothers who are way deeper in the system than I had to be. The family court system in America is a completely unequipped system. Family court seems to be something that has been introduced in the last century or so as divorces became more and more relevant in the society. And specifically in the state of Georgia, there isn't even a family court division. The judges that hear criminal cases also hear divorce cases. And they may or may not be fully aware of family court law, but they're presiding over the future of millions of children every day. And it's dangerous. It's catastrophic to not only the lives of Black mothers, but to the lives of Black children. And thank God I had the wherewithal, the resources, and the resilience to persist in the process that I had to go through to come out on the other side. But so many other Black mothers don't have that opportunity, don't have that access, don't have the resources to do so. And many children, unfortunately, end up in the system, foster care, in community or in spaces with ill-equipped parents that can oftentimes be abusive, neglect their children, or put their children in danger. I'm so grateful for the mother that I am and the way in which I've been a strong mother to my children since the day they got here. Whether you're wed, you're married to your child's father, or you're unmarried to your child's father, if you have to engage with the family court system, it is a traumatic experience that I wish on no one. And, you know, although, yes, it is a necessary evil to say, I'm grateful that I'm raising my children in a place where it doesn't exist. You know, the profits for attorneys, judges, guardians ad litem, it's an industry. And it is an industry that is thriving on the back of Black families that have been systematically broken for centuries. If you resonated with this video, please be sure to like it and leave me a comment. If any of these things that I've covered have touched you in a way or made you think twice about building or growing your family in the US, I'd love to work with you, share my story and how I was able to make it happen and move to the continent of Africa with 2 small children based on my passion and my vision of what it means to be a strong mother in this time and in these times. There's a link to book a call with me below. But also I want to encourage you, if you are making steps or taking steps to make your journey, stay encouraged. You are worthy, you are able, you have everything that you need. And I am so proud of you because you got this. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.